Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Tom Sherry. Whitney is off this evening. Breaking news this hour. Spokane City Council could formally censure one of its newest members today. KREM 2 has obtained a copy of a resolution drafted to censure Jonathan Bingle over his refusal to wear a mask at times inside City Hall.
The council voted 5-2 to add the resolution to its agenda today. They are yet to formally vote on that resolution. So according to council rules, 5 votes are also needed to censure one of its members. If it passes, Bingle would not lose any power as a council member. Instead, it would act as the council formally denouncing his conduct.
KREM has also obtained at least 2 notices sent to the city of Spokane from the state of Washington. Those notices were sent to inform the city that the state has received complaints about violations of the statewide mask rules, and another resolution the council voted to add to the agenda would ask Mayor Nadine Woodward to investigate violations of state mask rules in city buildings and possibly punish those breaking those rules.
Well, here's a live look at the meeting at this hour. The council has opened up for the public comment period on that censure. We are monitoring that meeting going on right now, and we'll bring you the very latest on any actions that could be taken.
Well, the president of the University of Idaho is rejecting claims that students were being indoctrinated, which he said led to a major cut in the school's budget. University President Scott Green says an independent study by a law firm was unable to substantiate those allegations. Last year, lawmakers cut $2.5 million from Idaho higher education budgets because of these indoctrination claims.
Starting today, Spotify is putting in content advisory before any podcast that discusses COVID-19 and vaccines. It comes after several artists, including rock legend Neil Young, asked Spotify to remove their music because what they say is misinformation spread by the Joe Rogan Experience, including a recent episode featuring Spokane native and UFC champion Juliana Pena, where she repeats an unproven claim that COVID is a, quote, plot to kill people. Artists say that Spotify can either keep the Rogan podcast or their music, but not both. Rogan denies that he is spreading any misinformation.
I'm not trying to promote misinformation. I'm not trying to be controversial.
It's not about any censorship. We're all for free speech. We just don't want to be associated with misinformation and lies that are killing Americans.
Spotify so far has declined to get rid of the show. Advisories on the music app will link to the company's fact-based COVID-19 hub.
Well, after 2 weekends of fabulous football, the Super Bowl matchup is now set. It's going to be the Los Angeles Rams playing at home facing the Cincinnati Bengals. Regardless of which team you like, people in the Inland Northwest will be cheering for one player in particular.
That player is Eastern Washington alum Cooper Kupp. He is headed to the Super Bowl after helping in a big way the Rams beat the 49ers yesterday. Kupp has been sensational all season long, and last night Kupp finished with 11 catches for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kupp spoke about this afternoon with Travis Green, who's joining us now. And Travis, is he feeling, I guess, how is he feeling ahead of the Super Bowl?
Well, guys, obviously ecstatic. The Rams went to the Super Bowl in 2018, and Cooper was a member of that squad, but he tore his ACL that season, so obviously he didn't get to play in that game. He said today that this time around is definitely a less conflicting experience. I think we would understand that one. He also talked about seeing his wife Anna after the game on Sunday. He met Anna at Eastern, and there's been a lot written about her recently, as ESPN did a story about how she worked a full-time job in college so that Cooper could focus on football and not have to worry. To put it mildly, Sunday was a moment of pure joy for the duo.
I could hear her screaming in the back of the tunnel before I even saw her. She was running out there. I didn't think she was going to make it. I saw her legs start giving out on her. But just it was just incredible to share that moment with her. She's been such a huge part of this. And obviously, some of that has come to light over the last couple of weeks, just what she's meant to me in my career. But for her, just, being able to, reaffirm in her just, like, this is just as much yours as it is anything that I've done. And just being able to share that time with her was very special.
How cool is that? And of course, we're going to have more on Cooper Kupp coverage for you throughout the next couple of weeks as we head up to this Super Bowl. So I know a guy easy to root for.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, right. He's such an, I think, understated player, right? He's so good, but he's not flashy. He's just always in the right spot, it seems, and he always makes the big catches.
Right, and I think what's really cool about this is I can tell you this much, as not being from the area, he's put Eastern Washington on the map. Everybody knows Cooper Kupp, that guy, he came from a smaller school in Eastern Washington. Very cool to see.
Yeah, there's no Cooper Cup celebration dance. He just gets the ball and hands it to the ref. Here we go, we're done. Let's go play more.
Yep.
We aired a profile that we did here at Creme a few years ago about Cooper Kupp and how he was basically not recruited out of high school.
Right.
I mean, you wonder if those coaches now, like UW, for example, are kind of kicking themselves saying, we should have recruited that guy.
Yeah, it's safe to say after he's blossomed so much. And he's gotten to where he is because he was kind of the not seen guy and worked his tail off to get to where he is now. You know?
I was just going to talk about his marriage. I mean, he's just a great teammate all the way around. Somebody asked him in an interview, said, do you regret getting married so early? And he said, I am the luckiest person to have met my soulmate this early on.
Yeah.
So they really are a team.
Very cool.
That's a correct answer, by the way.
About it.
Yeah.
I have one last question for you to put you on the spot and we'll get going. I'm being told to wrap here. Cooper Kupp, best receiver in the NFL? What do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd say yes.
There you hear it. Travis Green.
Yeah, he's the
Let's go.
sports expert.
We'll root for him in the Super Bowl, Travis. Thank you very much. All right, moving on now. Free N95 masks from the federal government have arrived in Washington, and soon they'll be making their way right here to Spokane. The Washington State Department of Health says masks will be available at any stores that give out COVID vaccines, and that means you will be able to walk into places like Walgreens here or CVS to grab your free N95. However, we don't know exactly when pharmacies will be stocked up here in Spokane. The Department of Health says they should see them, quote, in the coming days. Meantime, pharmacies on the west side of the state have already been stocked. One customer said getting their N95 was pretty simple.
I just asked at the register about N95 masks and they gave them to me. Super easy. Not uncommon to know people that are getting sick, so it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable to have a higher quality mask.
All these masks are arriving after the Biden administration announced they are shipping 400 million free masks all across the country. The masks are coming from the government's strategic national stockpile, which has 750 million masks.
Well, Governor Brad Little is activating the Idaho National Guard again to help with the impacts of COVID-19 in Idaho. This is the fourth time now that the Guard has been activated since the start of the pandemic. 75 guardsmen will be helping the Idaho Department of Correction. Also, Governor Little says 503 additional personnel have been hired to help Idaho hospitals that have been overwhelmed by COVID-19.
In other COVID news today, Moderna announced this morning that the FDA has granted full approval for its COVID-19 vaccine. The action by the FDA means the agency has completed the same rigorous, time-consuming review of Moderna's shot as dozens of other long-established vaccines. The decision was bolstered by real-world evidence for more than 200 million doses administered in the U.S. since the FDA cleared the shot in December of 2020. The FDA granted approval of Pfizer's vaccine just last August.
I do long hauls all over the country and I shouldn't need a mandate to go wherever it is I'm going.
Thousands of truckers protesting over the weekend in Canada's capital city over the country's vaccine mandates for drivers crossing the U.S.-Canada border last month. Both Canada and the U.S. imposed a mandate for cross-border truckers.
Meantime, Canada's Prime Minister has tested positive for COVID-19. Justin Trudeau tweeted that he is fully vaccinated and feeling fine and is working remotely this week following public health guidelines. He also encouraged everyone to get vaccinated and boosted. At least one of Trudeau's children has also tested positive. The family is isolating in an undisclosed location because people opposing health restrictions are protesting in the capital, as we just showed you. Tom, let's switch gears and talk weather right now because we at least got a little bit of sunshine today, right? Thank you for
Cloudy
that.
start and then sunshine in the afternoon. While it was sunny in Spokane, it was actually snowing in North Idaho.
Whoa.
This is a live look at Lookout Pass, and you can see the roadway there, mostly bare and dry. It did get a little bit of snow earlier today. Up at Snoqualmie Pass, you can see it looks like a little bit of snow and slush on the roadway right now, so be careful if you're going to be driving across the higher elevations. Cascades, by the way, have a winter storm warning in effect, taking in effect right now. 31 degrees, that is the current temperature. Wind is out of the west-southwest at 7 miles per hour. You can see that snow that we talked about. Also to the south of us, along the Oregon and Washington border, especially towards the Blue Mountains. And then we're seeing those snow showers again, not along I-90, but but just south of I-90, southern portions of Shoshone County. We're looking for an overnight low of 20 tonight. It gets cold. High tomorrow stays below freezing. For the weekend, we warm it up a little bit. We'll get up to 37 on Saturday, 38 Sunday. Could see a little light snow Saturday night into Sunday. And I'll show you the coldest overnight lows will be midweek. Those temperatures and the rest of your forecast coming up.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you very much. Day 4 of Freeman impact statements.
September 13th, 2017 was the darkest day of my life.
Today, the parents of students spoke about waiting to find out if their child was safe in the hours after the shooting.
Well, tomorrow on Up with Krem, Black History Month begins, and Krem 2 is marking the moment by sharing personal stories.
Listen, learn, and engage. We can all grow from learning more from each other. So to start our series, Let's Talk, Up with Krem's morning anchor, Channing Curtis, is sharing her personal experience.
Both of my parents went to all black schools in elementary and then integrated them when they got to junior high. Both of them from the South. My dad's from Birmingham. My mom's from a little bitty town in Texas. And so they talk a lot. They have firsthand experiences with the civil rights movement. It's not, for me, it's not a history book. It's literally my parents who lived through this.